Sometimes I think to myself, that's a strange theme for a board game. Why has that board game got that theme? Very, very strange. But then you see multiple board games with the same theme. All of a sudden, I'm full of cats and cucumbers. That's right, in this video we are going to look at 2 games all about cats and cucumbers, with a theme that is so barely slapped on that you can't really say this is the theme of the game, but also are 2 games that are far better than they have any right to be. Up we have Cats versus Cucumbers. This is a Yahtzee style push your luck dice game. You are going to be rolling the dice Yahtzee style 3 times to try and get the best possible outcome. This could be moving your cat along these boxes, into these boxes, and along these boxes to score the most points. This could be gaining these fish tokens, and if you have 1, it's worth a certain amount of points, and then you have 2, it's worth more points, and the more you have, the more points you're going to get. You could gain these little balls of wool, and each one of these on the back has a specific special rule or extra toy or cat treat, that kind of thing, to give you extra bonuses. When you're rolling the dice, if you manage to roll a cucumber, you have to stick with that cucumber face up, so you're actually rolling less dice. If you ever roll 3 cucumbers, you bust. There are essentially 9 lives, 9 rounds. If any player is to bust, this card is then flipped. Ooh, ghost cat goes away. Then there are 8 rounds left. This essentially is the timer to the end of the game. Types of roll that you can get on the dice are these little fishy treats. You can get this, which is moving your cat into a box or along the boxes. You can get a swipe, which essentially is a cat swiping another cat out of a box or down the boxes. The ball of yarn, so you get those bonus tokens that will give you points. They'll give you extra sort of swipes or cats in boxes, that kind of thing. So a bit of extra bonus there. And also the dreaded cucumber. Ooh, isn't he scary? When you are rolling the dice, if you roll 3 of something, that gives you 1. So if I roll 3 fish, I would get 1 fish. And then for every other fish I roll, for example, I would get another fish and another. So there's always risk to try and roll again. Hence the like the building up of points like you get in King of Tokyo or games of that type. If you do bust, it's not all bad. You actually gain 1 of these cucumbers. And these cucumbers then can be spent to be able to re-roll the dice again in a hope that you get a better roll next time. And as I didn't mention, this scratching post, this is actually the first player token. Cats versus Cucumbers is a lot of fun. It is great for the family, and it's a great quick sort of filler experience. One of the other things that I find really cool and I really love about this game is inside the box, you get a sheet of stickers. And these are all cats' names, and then you can stick the names on the bottom of the cats, and you can name all the cats. So my youngest daughter had the best time ever naming all of the cat meeples in the game. And if you thought that theme seemed loosely pasted on, well, hold my beer, because here is Cucumber Catastrophe. Cucumber Catastrophe is part Trick Taker, part 6 Nimmt. Instead of having suits as such, you just have numbered cards. You will be dealt 10 cards into your hand. The first player will be chosen randomly, and then they will play a card. They have complete free will. There's no trump suit. There's no nothing. These, as I said, are just numbers, and they will play a card. It is actually the second player in turn order that has the most power, because the second player has this chip. This chip has a lovely minus on one side and a plus on the other. The second player then gets to choose whether the next card played in the trick is a higher number or a lower number by placing this card down. The next player must play a lower card, so I played a 34 as the first card, so as an example, the next player may play this, a 31. Now, that is indeed a lower number. The 34 is the lead card. So if there is a third player, that third player could well play a 33. This 33 slots seamlessly in between 34, 30 and 31. So therefore 31 is the lowest card and they're going to win this trick. But winning a trick is really quite bad for you. Just like in 6-Nimmt, you don't want to pick up cards because cards have cucumbers on the top, varying from 5 cucumbers all the way down to 0 cucumbers. Happy days. You see, when you pick up cucumbers, you have to add them to your total. And the aim is, after a set amount of rounds, you want to have the lowest to 0 cucumbers. In trick-taking style, you must follow the rule that is placed in front of you, whether you have to play lower or you have to play higher. However, if you happen to not have a card that can possibly play lower, you can then break the rule. Breaking the rule then flips the chip and players can play any cards they want, but the highest card will then win that specific trick. But I make sure I say that if you can follow the rule, you must follow the rule. Basically, whoever wins the trick, and by wins the trick, I mean loses the trick, whoever has to pick up the cards, that player then becomes the first player to play their card down to lead the next round, with the player after them becoming the bearer of this chip. And this is a good quality poker chip, I'm going to say. There you go, it's a bit of ASMR for you. I know you all came here for that. And that essentially is the game. It is a very, very addictive, straightforward, trick-taking card game in its essence, with some of these little tweaks and changes and those little things from things like 6-Nimmt that make you really want to come back for more and more. That is 2 cat and cucumber themed games. Who would have thought that this video would ever need to be made? One of them is far more family friendly than the other one, and one of them is just downright mean. I have a personal favourite. Mrs. Get Into Games has a personal favourite. We'll let you decide in those comments which you'd rather play or which you have played and you prefer. Please let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe, do all that YouTube goodness. It really helps the channel grow, and the algorithm gods will one day love me forever. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.